Hey there boys and girls, Lucky here and welcome back to another CSGO video. Today with another episode of Noob to Pro, the series which should help you to get better at Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Today with a very small but very important topic, that would be callouts. What to call out, how to call out and when to call out. As always, Noob to Pro is a 3-part series. On Mondays you'll always get the big tutorial guide like this video, or well, kind of a smaller video this time around, as well as with the training routine. Tuesdays me and my girlfriend will be streaming, and some days there's sometimes a highlights video of what's going on or what has been going on over the week, and also answering a couple more of your questions. So I'd say let's get right into it. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is unsafe calls, and that's basically what to call out. So right here, this is regarded as an unsafe call. When you hear people coming in tunnels, you can only tell them, well, they're steps in tunnels, so they might be coming tunnels. It's an unsafe call. So whenever you're doing that, you should make sure to actually tell your friendlies that it's unsafe, so that they know, okay, they might be faking it, or that it's just like 1 or 2 guys there. However, the safe calls are the ones which are more, well, complicated and the ones that you should really get down with. So as you can see right here, whenever you see an enemy, you want to check a couple of things. Do you see their utility, like have they a kit or something like this? Do they have a weapon, for example right here? Yes, they have an AK. You can see he has no nades right here, and he's also not damaged because there's no blood on the player model, which means he hasn't eaten any bullets yet. Does he have the bomb? Or where's the bomb? Yes, he's carrying it, so this is another important information for your team. Maybe like CT or T side, maybe if the T's dropped the bomb by accident because someone got killed, or just as a CT so you know where to rotate to. You can also then of course, or better said, you should also of course call out how many there are. In this case there's one guy with a bomb, with an AK, and where is he? At tunnels. So these are kind of the things that you want to kind of run down whenever you're doing a call out. So let him know, is he damaged? Does he have a weapon? Are you still alive? Is he still alive? Does he have the bomb? Or better, where's the bomb? Where's the enemy? And how many of them are there? And that's basically the safe calls that you want to do. So that was what to call out. Now let's talk about how to call out. So right here I just got a bot game going on to give you guys an example. I actually played a little worse on purpose to make it a little more, well, accessible and easier to see. But right here we're in CT spawn, and this time around we're going to check mid and see if there's anything there. So we just go to double doors and kind of look up right here. And as we can see, there are a couple of enemies. So they're at T-spawn and we can see 2. So that we say T-spawn 2 enemies. We can see they're moving to the right. So this is also information we want to give to our teammates. Where did they go? They went to the right, so they're probably going tunnels. So say probably because you do not know for sure. Then you move up to the location to check again if you get like any more info. You can see enemies are here. Where and how many? They're in front of upper tunnels and there are 3 of them. You can see them right in front of you as well as on the minimap. So also, where's the bomb? The bomb has been dropped. Again, it's showing on the minimap, as well as you can see it right there laying on the ground right here. Then again, how many are left after you killed someone? Can you see them on the minimap? Maybe someone was hiding and you didn't see him, but you can catch them on the minimap. You saw 3 more are there. You just keep playing and try to get a couple of more kills and stuff like that. And now you can see only 2 left. So you tell them the location of the last 2 enemies. This is very important so that your teammates know that all the other parts of the map are clear to go and they can basically flank them from every side. Now, after the round is over, you still have to call out. For example, right here, you saw they only had pistols. So what you're calling out is they only had pistols. So you basically know what's going to happen in the next round. So you're able to prepare. You know, this round they only had pistols, so they maybe were saving up for a better buy, for AKs and stuff like that. Which of course means that you now have to prepare for better weapons. Again, on the other hand, if they had like better weapons like the AK, then you could also maybe think, okay, they're now having like another eco round or so, because they're not able to buy AKs and AKs and AKs every round. Another thing that you can do right here, I'm pushing long. So I'm pushing all the way up to Longhouse right here, and this is also some kind of info or call out that you should give. Long is clear right here. You pushed up and you're basically letting your teammates know, again, not regarding the minimap right here because this is a bots match, and you should of course also check all your corners, that the enemies are in a certain location right here, again, showing in the minimap. Now you know, okay, there are a couple of there in suicide, so you try to peek again, however they kill you. Now, a very important thing, you gotta tell them how much damage you did, so you tell them -1 for 1 guy. You can also open up your console and see how many guys you damaged. Also, call out for silent teammates. Some mates, they do not like to use their microphones, so just spectate them as soon as you're dead and call out for them so that they do not have to do that. This is also a very nice and handy trick that you can do as well. For example, for our other bot friend right here, and of course we're going to get killed in a second. So, last but not least, as I said before, we're now dead, we lost a round, however we can still see the death screen, meaning, okay, we can see he has a rifle, there's another rifle laying on the ground, so this is another viable and important information to give to our teammates in order to let them know, okay guys, next round they maybe were able to save Noob and they got like lots of utilities, so they got lots of money and many weapons, so we have to counter that somehow and be prepared for that. So now let's talk also about when to call out. When to call out is basically very easy to answer because you want to call out as soon as possible. There are a couple of benefits to doing that. First of all, the sooner your teammates are receiving the information of what is going on in the game, the more time they have in order to react to it. And again, on the other side, the more time you as well have in order to prepare your strat or your team play or your whatever play you want to do in order to make it easier to play off your teammates or just for your teammates to play off of you in order to secure the round. Now, another important thing you have to keep in mind whenever you're trying to call out is that you do not want to call out whenever someone is trying to clutch. Of course, sometimes it's very like tempting. You see a guy right there and you're like, oh, he's at bench, and of course you just want to help him and let him know, but most likely if you were able to see him, he did see him as well, or if you were able to hear him, your teammate most likely also did hear him as well. Again, most likely, not always, but most likely. However, it's usually still better to not interrupt the focus of your teammate by trying to talk to them and just being silent and quiet so they have like the quietness they need in order to concentrate and in order to focus, and also they are able then to hear the footsteps and all the other like sounds like reloading and utility being thrown, stuff like that, so they're able to actually clutch around more safely. Alright, last but not least, I also got another tip for you guys, because you also want to know what the callouts are. So for that, there are many mini-maps around, or just sites, and I'll also link all of them in the description down below, so you can go there, check them out. I also have a video on Simple Radar, and with that you can basically see the callout names of the things of the map. However, they will also be shown in the top left corner, so it's very easy to just get used to them, but just keep in mind, so whenever you're not sure what to call out, just take a look at that, try to learn that, or just look at the upper left-hand corner. So this week's training, once again, is kind of similar to the last one. As always, we still want to kind of focus a little bit more on our basics, getting movement down, aiming down, so the training routine hasn't changed all that much. However, compared to last time when you were trying to go around on a simple like offline server and finding a couple of nades and practicing something, this time around you actually want to practice your callouts, and by that I mean play matchmaking, try to apply what you've learned, but before that you basically want to check out the graphs and the other things linked in the description down below to see what the spots are called in order to get a better feeling for that. Also, watching pro gameplays or just tournaments overall can really help you, because the casters are really helpful when it comes to actually pinpointing or just explaining what's going on the screen, so this will also definitely help you to get better with your callouts. But I think it's for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and luckySkillFaker out.